This question comes up all the time with hunting, and why do you hunt, and why would you go after these difficult situations?
I think it's the adventure. You know it's not going to be easy, but it's just the drive to really get out there and see some different country.
I go for it, even if it means I'm cold or I'm wet or I'm not sleeping or I've got sore legs. If something needs to be done to make this thing happen, let's do it.
I think what draws me to a goat is it is living in the most difficult, nastiest terrain you could think of.
They're such a unique animal. They can live where most animals of that size just can't.
They almost live in their own little world. It's no-go zones for sure. It's steep, it's nasty. The day of, I was just shaking with excitement and anticipation. Yeah, it wasn't until we finally got on the road that I started to calm down. We got to where we were going to base camp for the first night, set up camp late.
I think we're getting right around 11:30 midnight right now, just setting up camp, and we head out tomorrow into the valley. A little tired, anxious, but excited, super excited for tomorrow.
We got below down.
We did. And?
The guide, these guys are the guide, and she's got some Americans on the lake hunting goats. Those guys are all hunting moose. This guy's a kayaker, and there's no one in our valley.
So is he saying that there are ghosts in there or what?
He's saying anytime he's been here, it looks like this.
The area we're going in, there hasn't been many goats taken out of there, so I was not even sure if we even see a goat.
So we couldn't really see the terrain. We didn't know where the goats would be, how we would get to the goats, if we could get to the goats.
I'd been in there with Chris the one weekend, and it was quite the battle to get into where we were, and we were planning on heading in a lot farther.
Today we're gonna try and hike into our first campsite and try and glass up some goats.
We took enough equipment and food for 7 days. I knew that it was going to be tough going in, but depending on, if we were successful or not, it was going to be even heavier going out. Yeah, I think it was just excitement. Everyone was super eager to get it going.
Oh yeah, we were pumped. I mean, everyone was jacked up. We're all gonna get kitted up in rain gear, and we're gonna hike up through this valley that we can't see. We're heading for a lake about 1 kilometre in. Oh, here we go, boys.
Stepping through the tree line. It's like breaking bush through thick alders. Reality set in that this isn't going to be easy.
No goal in front of you, you naturally move slower and more cautiously, and then added the challenges with moving to that terrain. We were moving pretty slow. We should hold elevation till we get to this creek.
Yeah. I think, yeah, start working down.
Our general plan was to hike into spots we could glass, sit down, find something we can act on, and then we would know where we have to hike to. That was a gnarly area, that was thick terrain. Moving was incredibly difficult. I mean, we had a tough time getting in and covering ground.
Yeah, it's a little more difficult than we were expecting. There's a lot of water.
It might be better if we go back up.
Just we won't see if things open and dry if we're up there. That's the only thing.
We're going down the valley further to hopefully find somewhere to camp. We're getting into it now, we can glass, so this is what we need. We need to be able to see things.
Struggle.
We glassed from there the first day and hadn't seen goats, so that doubt was definitely weighing heavy.
That was a good effort today, boy.
That sucked.
I wasn't necessarily expecting to just walk in there and see goats everywhere, but definitely would have made you sleep a little bit better that night, knowing, okay, we're doing things right, we're in the right spot. It was a long night, that's for sure. Tent's a little icy, a lot of wake ups, but excited to glass all day. We're in a spot where we can actually spend some good time on the glass. So excited, get a fire to warm us up a little bit, get some breakfast in us. Should be good.
So we'd been glassing all morning, and I think it must have been about 12:30. The sun had just started to come over and was hitting us. And Taylor, just in the most casual voice, he just says, "Goat."
Just went behind a tree. Hold on. It's a single go.
Where are we looking, man?
Hold on, he just went behind a tree. I don't want to take my...
And Devin and I jumped out of our skin, dropped whatever we're doing to jump behind the scopes, and we're trying to find it. We're yelling at Taylor, "Where is it? Where is it?"
I'm on the grass patch, Taylor, now where?
Okay, Big Rock Ridge, you come down, you see it sort of goes brown, or light brown, brown,
I got him.
rock. You got him?
He's at the bottom of that cliff. You can just see his caboose. Oh, dude, that's some horn. Holy boys.
It was super exciting. I mean, even just to see a goat, it makes that whole trip worth it. That was the most memorable moment for me.
I'm pretty quick to pull the trigger on plans. And that plan from there was, we got to get to the goats. So we packed up straight away and just started trying to cover country.
Come in, boys.
About that one.
You don't know about that one?
It's easy. Super cheesy.
All right.
Moving down that valley, it was just like you're moving with a purpose and there's a goal that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, we were coming into their country, that's for sure. We'd stop in open sections and continue to glass. And as we got further down valley, we started tearing up more goats.
I don't know how you would necessarily get to where a lot of these goats were, and to be able to live there and just like gracefully jump up these cliffs, it's just impressive. They look big.
We want to get set up so that we're basically across the valley from them so that we can make a quick move if we have to.
The next day was a full glassing day. We knew we were going to have to try to study the animals, so we spent that whole day watching various goats, trying to pick apart how you might get into these areas.
So the plan now is to watch the goats, see where they bed, and then we're gonna plan an approach up that mountain. A lot of unknowns, but it's part of the game. Mountain goat hunting.
We wake up bright and early again, sit down behind the glass, and we see a couple goats lower down than we've seen all week.
Oh, we just spotted what we think is a billy, pretty low down. I think we can try and make a play on him.
I jumped on my spotter and they didn't have to walk me in on it. I could see these goats with my naked eye, they were low. And my plan is I'm getting across that damn river and I'm getting after those goats. Let's go.
If we can get like anywhere like in these alders, man, if we can get down to 5, we're on.
Okay. All of a sudden it's this chaos of grabbing our packs, stuffing stuff in. We're hunting, we're going after something, which is what we were there for, so. Kind of had this idea of where we could go and where we'd be able to see certain things from, and all of a sudden we get across this river and we can't see 3 feet in front of ourselves because we're in 8 feet of alders.
Yeah, so now we're on the same side of the mountain as the goats. We're literally looking straight up at them and we can't see anything.
Everything was up in the air at that point. We were just trying to do the best we could, and it's like fumbling in the dark.
So we get into this one opening and we saw another goat 480 yards from where we were. It was an uphill shot.
There's no way to take an ethical shot with the rest in the setup that we could make.
You don't want to take a shot where you could potentially wound something.
So we moved on from that opportunity.
So we get into this rocky creek bed. It was steep and wet, but because we were finally out of the alders, we could at least have some sort of sight line. So we just kind of staircase up this creek bed, just a shot in the dark, hoping that those goats that we originally saw in the morning were still there.
Chris decided to just go up the side of the bank and try and get a good sight line.
I wanted to get out of the creek and get a look before we popped up and it was too late. We come up over this creek and there's a goat right there.
Whoever's in front, it just makes sense for them to take the shot.
We're looking at this goat. We're close, we're 125 yards. They've got really good eyesight. This is what we're here to do.
Again.
Hit it again.
Hit it again. It's dead. I get up there. Congrats, buddy. One shot. Either way, we go. It's hard. That's hard work right there. Made the right call.
After the shot, I was I was overcome with it.
It was a rewarding feeling, but at the same time, you just took something's life, so it's mixed emotions.
It's a powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing to kill an animal. You know, it's hard to explain.
That's just a flood of emotions. It's pretty indescribable. Being able to share something like that with other people that are experiencing the same feelings and things as you are, you can't really get any better than that. Hunting's pretty unique where you have these moments of extreme highs and then these moments of extreme lows.
You become quick friends, and it's a real good way to see what a person's made of.
You go through a stressful situation, it's make or break. You go in as friends, you come out as brothers. Yeah, so we woke up the next day, we got meat in the tree, we're on the spotting scopes early again. We had a few hours of good daylight there in the morning.
We sort of gave ourselves a deadline of, you know, if we don't see anything by this time, we'll probably pack up and hike out.
But then the weather was starting to turn for sure. We weren't looking at a blue sky anymore. It was starting to be more cloudy.
Before we went into the valley, we were warned about snowfall and that you could get stuck in there pretty good.
Getting stuck was a real possibility, and we knew that we needed to move.
Window is closing, and it started to turn into this race of getting as far as we could during the light.
The snow started to fly, and we realized we're probably running out of time here.
That was a long, hard push for sure. We were trying to move as fast as we can. Just wanted to get back to the truck.
All of a sudden the snow is coming down good and it's sticking fast. And I am genuinely concerned about getting out of the valley.
It's getting dark and tension's starting to run high. And then to see the truck again, that was like, we did it.
We were asking a lot for that trip that we planned there, and to be able to actually pull it off, that felt good.